walk you through how to set up your ScheduleOnce booking calendar as well as your application form through Wufoo. So we're going to start off with ScheduleOnce. So here I'm logged in. This is a new account. So if this is your first time using ScheduleOnce, this is what it's going to look like. You actually may have some pre-made templates here under event types, and there's probably going to be one under booking pages. Those were there. I just went ahead and deleted them so there isn't any confusion, and you can go ahead and delete them as well and just start with a blank template like I did here. So to get started, all we're going to do is we're going to start with event types. So click the arrow, and here under public name, this is going to be the name of your business. For the sake of example, I'm just going to say call mine Jesse's Fit Camp. So Jesse's Fit Camp. And then here under image or icon, pretty straightforward. If you have a logo, I definitely recommend putting it here. So just click choose file and go ahead and add, whatever image you want to use. Of course, I don't have one for Jesse's Fit Camp, so I'm going to skip that, but it's pretty straightforward for you to just go ahead and put the logo. So after that, you're going to go to save and edit. So from here, we're going to go to where it says duration. As you can see, it defaulted to 15 minutes. It should really be 45, so we're going to edit that. So click edit. Event type duration, we're going to change 15 minutes to 45 because that is the length of time I'm scheduling for each call, since each call will be 45 minutes. Starting times, you want to have it on the hour, 15 minutes, half an hour, and 45 minutes in, right? So for example, it's going to say 10 a.m., 10:15, 10:30. Time slot spacing, you want to have 15 minutes apart, so leave that as is. Workload rules. So we're going to go down here and under number of bookings per day, I'm going to set that to 6. I think that's a pretty healthy amount of calls I would personally be able to take per day. Of course, you can edit this to whatever you want. This will just limit the amount of bookings you get in one specific day. So if you only want to take 4 calls a day, you would just put 4. But for the sake of this demo, I'm going to do 6. Number of bookings per week, unlimited. Okay, perfect. So then we're going to go to time frame rules. This part here where it says into the future, don't let bookings drift away, do not offer time slots more than 18 months. Definitely want to change that. For this, you only want to do 2 days. I would say 3 days would be pushing it, but ideally you only want to do 2 days. Why is this? Reason being is because if you allow more than 2 days into the future, this means that your schedule will allow people to schedule, let's say today is Monday, and if you have it for 7 days, guess what? Your calendar is going to reflect 7 days, so then people will be able to book all the way up until the following Monday. The reason why that's an issue is because the further they are allowed to schedule out, the less likely they are to attend the call. This is why it's super important that you stick to 2 days. 3 days max, and again, that's really pushing it because if it's within 2 days, your show rate will be much, much higher. So it's super important that you keep it that way. So then, let's see, time zone conversion, you definitely want to have that on. Number of time slots offered per day. Do not offer too many. I would say all. Yeah, keep that to all, and then you want to hit save. So we're just going to go in order down this sidebar here. So the next thing is going to be the booking form and redirect. This is going to default to what it's reflecting here, what it's previewing. So you want to go to edit form. A bit of a delay, but it's okay. We're getting through it. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is you definitely going to grab their name. You want them to enter their email. We are going to remove company, and you want to keep phone number. I'm going to remove mobile phone and note as well. So for them to book a call with you, they are required to give you your name. It says your mandatory field, your email, mandatory field, and it says their phone number. So we're actually going to click this on because we want to make it mandatory for them to input their phone number. So after that, just hit save, close. So we're going to hit the arrow here, click on it again. So we just did booking form and redirect. As you can see here, this is what we just edited, and you'll see the preview is much shorter. Automatic redirect. We are actually going to use this in a second. This is what will basically kick people over to the application page after they schedule a call. So we'll come back to this. Next, we're going to work on customer notifications. So we're just going to go down the list to make sure that all the settings are done correctly. That way the customers get the ScheduleOnce notifications leading up to the call. So booking, that's correct. That's perfect. Okay, so first customer reminder, 24 hours before the meeting, perfect. Second, an hour before, and the last one's gonna be 10 minutes before. So we wanna check off SMS. Booking cancellation. Check off SMS under that. Booking reschedule. Adding SMS. Booking request cancellation. And booking request resubmission. Other notifications we don't need, so just hit save. So then we're going to move over to payment and cancel, reschedule policy. So from here, we are going to go down to cancellation policy. Don't worry about payment and pricing because there isn't going to be a price displayed since that's checked off there. So cancellation policy. So here we want people to cancel only, let's say 4 hours before the call. So the reason why we're doing this is because this gives the client enough time to cancel the call if need be. If say something comes up, an emergency, whatever, they have up until 4 hours before the call to cancel with you. And this also gives you enough time to be able to, readjust your day and your schedule. So we're going to set it to 4 hours, and then we're going to go down to customer cancellation reason. You want to make sure it's under mandatory. This is going to prompt them to give a reason as to why they're canceling. Then we're going to move to reschedule policy. Again, same thing. We want to change this to up to, and we are going to put 4 hours again. Again, this has to be mandatory because we want we want to know the reason why they're rescheduling. So then you hit save. So then we scroll back up under public content. And here again, you should have your logo if you uploaded it. If you didn't, you can do it here too. Just hit choose file and then you'll be able to upload your logo for your business. So then we're going to go back. So now my event's been built out. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new booking page. So all I'm going to do is click this, or if you already have pre-made templates, just hit the plus sign. Public name. I'm going to call it the wow, I can't type today. Fit Camp Discovery Call. So then I'm going to hit tab. It's going to default to this. The URL is going to default to my public name. The owner, it's going to default to test account, which is my account. And then under event types, you want to make sure it's connected to the event type that we just built out. So mine was Jesse's Fit Camp, so this is correct. If for whatever reason it's incorrect, then you would just hit the drop down menu and click the correct one. Here again, you can add your logo, so just click choose file and upload your logo. So then from there, we're going to hit save and edit. Now, the first thing that we want to pay attention to is associated with event type. Here, it defaulted to the one I created because I don't have any other additional event types. That was the only template I had, I built out. However, if you have multiple templates that are pre-built, the way ScheduleOnce does it when you initially create an account with them, all you would just do is hit add remove event type, and then you will just check off the correct one. So you hit save. From here, you go to associated calendars, right? We're just going to go down the list here. Here is where you connect whatever calendar that you use to get to basically schedule your day. I personally use Google Calendars, so I would connect that. If you use iCloud, go ahead and connect that. If you use, what other ones? Outlook, go ahead and do so here. All you do is just hit continue to calendar connection, and it's going to walk you through logging in and whatnot, and it automatically integrates it for you. So I'm not going to do it for the sake of this video, but just know that you definitely need to connect a calendar so that you're able to organize your day. Next, we're going to go to recurring availability. Hit close. This is pre-formatted here. So this is basically what's going to show when people look at your calendar. This is going to be your availability, the time slots that you have available. So if this is your full focus, great, open up your calendar however, to whatever your availability is. If it's not, and you can only do, let's say you have other things going on, and for example, I can't take calls Mondays between 1 and 3, then I would filter that out. Or let's say Wednesdays, I'm not taking calls between 10 and 11, I would do that. So that's pretty much it here in terms of availability. Of course, you want to make sure that your time zone is correct, and you also, if you want to go ahead and take calls earlier than 9 o'clock, you would just do so here. So if you want to do between 8:30 every day, you can go ahead and put 8:30. So as of right now, as you can see here, it'll say between 8:30 and basically 5. Let's say, on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I like to take calls up until 5:30. So I'll go ahead and add those time slots in. So all you need to do is just hit save. And remember, this is recurring. So this is week by week, it's going to be the same. So whatever availability that you want to have set up, do it under recurring availability. So hit save. Once it's saved, date specific, let's move on to date specific. Date specific is basically where you will edit if things will come up. Let's say, for example, on Friday, I actually have a dentist appointment at 11 o'clock, so I definitely cannot take calls then. So what I would do is I would probably block off 30 minutes before my dental appointment. So, and let's say my appointment's at 11, let's give it an hour. So realistically, I need a 30-minute buffer after the appointment, so I'm just going to block off between 10:30 and 12:30 because I have a dental appointment. So again, this is your date-specific availability, meaning when things come up and you need to make adjustments, but you don't want to edit your week by week availability, if that makes sense. So from here, all we're going to do is hit save so that that time block reflects. Then we're going to go to location settings. So this part here is where you are going to connect your Zoom account. We will come back to this, but just keep in mind that this location settings is how you connect your Zoom account. It's basically where you host the call. Then you have user notifications. And again, this is similar to the event type user notification. So we're just going to go down the list and it's pretty much the same thing. You just want to check off, oops, there is no mobile for, oh, that's fine. So the main ones are the reminders. So here you want to check off the email and SMS 24 hours, 1 hour, and 10 minutes before the call. Booking cancellations, check those off. Those. And I believe that's pretty much it. So we hit save. Last one, we're going to go to public content. And again, all this defaults. I mean, this welcome message is fine. Nobody is going to see this anyway, since we are going to embed your calendar onto your apply page. So you can delete it, you can leave it there. It really doesn't matter. Nobody's going to see it. Again, here you would just go ahead and upload your logo. That way it reflects on the actual calendar. So at this point, everything looks good. So we are going to move on to our Wufoo application. Okay, so actually, let's go back really quickly. Under FitCamp Discovery Call, or whatever your booking page is, let's just go ahead and plug in Zoom. So under location settings, you are going to click, this is a virtual meeting. That's gonna pop up. You're gonna scroll down and you basically, under edit conferencing information, you have a few options as to which conferencing software you're using. So we're going to use Zoom. So I'm going to connect your Zoom account. So this will pop up. All you have to do is click connect and a Zoom window is going to open. So I'm going to click pre-approve and I'm going to click authorize. So then I'm going to get this pop-up message here. It basically just tells me what the next step is in order for Zoom to successfully be connected. So close that out because I'm actually going to walk you through it. So as you can see, I connected it to my test account. Then we're going to go back to setup and click ScheduleOnce setup. So we're going back to the booking page that we created. We're going to go back to location settings. So here, once again, we need to hit, this is a virtual meeting. Click on that. So then we're going to scroll down. And as you can see, if it looks like this here, that means your Zoom has successfully been connected. So you want to check off record meeting automatically. Should be in the cloud. And start video when joining a meeting. Check off both and hit save. So now your Zoom is connected. So whenever someone books a call with you, they are going to get their instructions on how to access the call via Zoom. Okay. So then from here, we're just going to go back to the main setup page because we're going to come back to this after we build out the application form. So let's go to Wufoo. Here, I'm logged into a new account. So again, if this is your first time using Wufoo, this is what it's going to look like. So from here, we're going to create a new form, and you want to build it from scratch. All right. So here you have a lot of different options. So what I recommend having open is our application page. If you need the links to this application page, submit a support ticket and we will send it to you. Please do not go through our funnel. I really need to emphasize this because it really throws off our stats. Whenever someone goes through our funnel, no different how if someone would go through your funnel, it's going to throw off your stats because it's going to show it as, you know, someone submitting an application and whatnot. And just, we really ask that you please do not go through our funnel. Do not book a test call. And by test call, I mean a test booking. And do not submit a test app because again, it will throw off our stats. So if you need the direct link to this page here, please submit a support ticket and we will happily send it over to you. Okay. So now that we have this open, we are going to start building out our form, and you are going to model it exactly the way ours is. You're not going to, don't add more to it. Do not remove things that you maybe think are not, do not pertain to your business. Just trust us with this application. Everything is sequential for a reason. So copy it word by word, exactly the way it is, and just edit out the parts that say course or course business, and of course, modify it to whatever, you know, industry niche that you're in. So the first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to go into untitled form. We're going to edit this out. I'm simply going to copy and paste this part here. We're going to drop that in there. So as you can see, it's starting to build it out. We're going to edit this out. Copy and paste this portion here. Okay, everything looks good. Awesome. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to add a field. And so the first thing, as you can see in our application, is the name. So we are going to go in here and let's see. There's some that are already pre-built, so name's already there, which is perfect. You're going to click on it because we are going to make this a mandatory field. So once you go in here, under options, click required. So then after that, we are going to go back to add a field. Next, we have your email. So I can just go ahead and use one of these guys. You're going to click on it, make it required, and here we're going to copy and paste what we wrote here. Let's see. Actually going to drop that down. Okay, actually, let's remove this. We're going to manually do the email because it's not allowing me to put the instructions. So we're just going to do it as a single line text. So we're going to click here, change this to email, and then we're going to paste the instructions underneath. And then we're going to go to options and click required, since again, it is a requirement. And the way you know if you did it correctly is you should have these little red like star bullet things. So we're going to go back to add a field, step 2. So for the sake of examples here, let me just click over. Okay, so the next page, or not the next page, the next set of questions is we're going to ask them for their phone number. As you can see here, we're modeling it. This has instructions. So back to the form builder, we're going to do it as a single line text. Click on it so we can edit it. And we're just going to copy and paste it. Okay. Options, required, and then back to add a field. The next question is their personal Facebook profile. Let me just go ahead and copy that. Single line text. Let's remove this guy. And then you're going to make it required. Back to add a field. Where did you first hear about us? So this is a multiple choice question. So it's done a little differently. So you are going to go to where it says multiple choice. So you're going to click on it. We're going to change the field label to, what was it, ours? So it defaults to 3 choices. So it's actually here. If you need more, you would just hit the plus sign. If you need less, or if you need to remove one, just hit the minus sign. So let's see here. Our answers, we have Facebook ad, Facebook Messenger, YouTube, email, Google. So we can go ahead and start adding those. So if you are running ads, go ahead and put that there. Even if you're not running ads, you should probably just include it now, because eventually you will, and you want to be able to have that option there so that you know where they came from. Facebook Messenger, we're going to go ahead and add that. Okay, so then you have your Facebook group. And of course, this one you will modify because, of course, this, excuse me, this is of course client's public Facebook group. So for mine is going to be the Fit Camp Facebook group. The next option we're going to add is email. Right, so now that I've used all 3, I'm going to go ahead and add another one and put email. You can go ahead and do Google search. So add another line. Google search. YouTube ad, you want to go ahead and include that if you plan on doing YouTube ads. And last but not least, none of the above. So let's add another one, put that there. So once you're done filling out your multiple choice, go to options and click on required. So then the next step is going to be the next page. So let me switch over to that. Okay, so now I switched over to the next question. So this is a bit of a paragraph. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that first. So then we're going to go back to add a field, and we are going to do a paragraph text. Just because I want the box to be a little bit bigger. So click on it, field label. Okay, so then here is where you need to edit whatever your business is. So tell me briefly about your, going back to my Fit Camp example, I'm in fitness. So I'm going to ask them, tell me briefly about your fitness journey. I'm going to put, do you have a training program currently? If you so then if if you do what is the training specifically, right? So I can even put in parenthesis, is it high intensity interval training? Is it yoga? Is it, I mean, etc., right? Just again, for the sake of examples. So then under field size, I don't want the box to be too big because that just comes across very overwhelming. So we're gonna make that small. And we want to make this a requirement so that they fill it out. So then we're gonna go back to add a field and we're gonna move on to the next one. Okay, so let me switch over to that page. So the next question is this. So you're gonna copy and paste, well, you're gonna copy it first. And it's more of a smaller paragraph box, so we are going to use the same one again. Go ahead and edit that out. So this is a new question that we've updated. What is your total current monthly income pre-COVID and post-COVID? We asked this because unfortunately, a lot of people's incomes have decreased since the pandemic. So we really want to understand where they were at before and, you know, where they're currently at so that we can, you know, successfully, you know, compare, or not compare, but understand, you know, if they will be able to afford, you know, our training. So you can leave this as is. And then we're going to change this to small. And we're going to make this a requirement. So then, okay, so we have that. Then we're going to go back to the page. And then it asks for this. So then here we're going to go ahead and let's see. We'll do single line since it's pretty straightforward. So we're going to edit that. Now, this one's specifically geared towards, you know, a course business. So we need to edit this one. And this is specifically in terms of income because with our niche, that's the measurable deliverable. So since I'm in fitness and fitness journey, and I'm, you know, coaching people that are in their fitness journey, I will say, what is your target goal with your fitness journey? Okay. And you are going to make it a requirement as well. So as you're doing this, you're modifying it to fit your niche. So then we're going to go back here and we're going to move on to the next question. So I'm now in the next question and I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that one. And I can tell it's a small paragraph box. So we're going to go here, add a field, paragraph text, and we're going to edit that guy. Field label, we're just going to paste the question. Again, this is another one that we're going to have to modify depending on your niche. Since this one specifically is in reference to online courses. So for my fitness business, I'm going to ask, let's see, what do you think is stopping you from hitting? Okay, so we're going to edit this out. So I will say from hitting your fitness goals, right? So let's make this small and again, make it required. So then we're going to go back to, or we're going to move on to the next question from here. So the next one is, what would be the most important criteria? So we're going to copy this one, and it's also a paragraph. So then we are going to go to add a field, paragraph. Scroll down. What would be the most important criteria for success if we're a good fit to work together? Okay. That is definitely, I can definitely use that for my niche. The wording of it is perfect, so I'm going to leave it as is and do required. So just continue to go through each and every question. I did majority of them, but just go ahead and finish just because I don't want to make this an hour-long video. So once you're done, you are going to click Save Form. And I'm going to do Continue Editing. My form's already saved. And from here, I'm just going to go back to Forms. So I'm going to walk you guys through how to edit the theme of your form. Because right now, if you were to view your form, it actually looks like the Wufoo pre-made template. So for example, if you go to themes, this is what your form currently looks like. It's going to say Wufoo. It's going to just have all this, like the colors are going to be exactly like this. So if you want to go ahead and edit it, you can do a lot with it under themes. So you would just do create new, and then under properties, just work your way down. If you want to change your logo, you do have to be in the premium, not premium, but the pro account or whatever it's called. So let me just go ahead and click upgrade now. So it's going to pull up this. You can just go ahead and do the starter one. It's really just more so to customize the branding and mainly for that really. So let me just click that off. But again, you can just go through everything. So if you want to go ahead and change your logo, it would be so there. You can change your background. So like for instance, your wallpaper, if for whatever reason you want it yellow, you would just go ahead and do that. We find that just white is always super clean, so I would just click white. Your header, again, you'll see here, it's that one there. So I would just stick with white, that way your logo sits flush to the background. Then you have form, which is this part here. Again, you want to do white. I mean, if you don't want to do white, that's fine, but it just keeps things very clean in terms of branding. Or if you want to modify it to where it matches the colors of your brand, that's absolutely fine. I mean, just you can get really creative with it, but just, you know, you want to make sure that everything's just readable. So the field is this part here. I'm just going to do it white for the sake of example. The highlight. Instructions, I mean, it would be this part here, but we don't have any instructions, so you're probably not going to see that. Typography is basically the fonts, the style, and the size. So for instance, if I change this to bold, it changes this guy here. I can change the size if I want to make it super small or, oops. Point is, if you want to make the font bigger or smaller, you would just go there. If you want to change the color, that's how you would do so. Same with description, sizing, colors, and literally just go down the list. I mean, form, you can make the border a different color. You can make it dotted, dash, double. I mean, the world is your oyster with this. Sections, let's do solid, it's this part here. Instructions, it would be that guy there if you have one, but we don't. Shadows, you can either have shadows on or off. It's a really subtle change if you notice here, but again, modify it to whatever it is that you prefer. Submit, it's referring to buttons, it's referring to the submit button here. You can do done. I would really just stick with submit since it's pretty straightforward. And then advanced, I mean, you can just get really creative with it. So in short, this is basically the theme, and you can just click save. And then let's say this is for my Fit Camp branding. I'm gonna hit submit. So then if I go back to my form, if I go to edit, after I've created the theme, I would just literally click apply theme. And here you should be able to see the one you created. So I created Fit Camp and it's going to apply. So if I want to see what that looks like, just click on view form and you're going to see everything that I did. It modified the color, the branding. If I had my logo, it would be up here. If I wanted to remove this guy, I would do so there. So just be mindful that those are the edits that you are creating. So from here, that's pretty much your form. So then we are going to go ahead and do the redirect from, I was going to say active campaign. We'll do the redirect from ScheduleOnce or your booking calendar to prompt them directly to the application page immediately after. So the way that you would redirect it would be if you go to ScheduleOnce, whoops, let's go back. You're in the main page, right? So you are going to click on your event type. And then remember the part that said booking form and redirect. You're going to click on that. Okay, so then that's loaded. So then you're going to go down to automatic redirect and you're going to turn that on. And it's basically saying display ScheduleOnce confirmation page for 5 seconds. You want to change this to 0 because you don't want them to see anything. You want them to immediately get sent to your Wufoo application form as soon as they hit the submit button when they schedule the call. So we're going to change that, and then from here you are going to enter the URL to your Wufoo application page. So in order to get that, you're going to go back to Wufoo. I just go into edit form, and in the section where it says view form, click on that. Up here you have the URL, so literally just copy it. Grief. I'm gonna hit copy, and we are going to put that in here. So then we're gonna hit save. So now whenever someone schedules a call with you, they are immediately going to be sent over to your application page. So let's just go back to your setup section. So then the next thing that we need to do is we need to set up the notifications in terms of the applications that get submitted. We need to set up the email account where you want them to be sent to. So go to forms. Once you're in here, in the 3 buttons here, click more. You're going to go down to notifications. Once you're in notifications, you are going to input the email address that you want your all your applications to go. So for me and my Fit Camp, I'm going to put I want all the entries that get submitted to go to bookings@fitcamp.com. And only new entries, and you're gonna hit save. If for whatever reason you want them to be delivered to your cell phone, you would do so here. I don't recommend that. So once you hit save, you just go back to forms, and that's pretty much it. So At this point, you should have all your booking calendar set up. Your Wufoo application should be completely built out. And after that, we are going to show you how to redirect them from the Wufoo application form once they hit submit back to your ClickFunnels confirmation page. So we are going to show you that in the next video.